Come on. You're almost there. You wanted to do it. Come on. There it is. There it is. All right. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Expeditionary Johnny channel. I'm going to try to get back into the removing obstacles to getting outdoors type deal today. Making some lunch, and I recently did a couple of reviews of the Kelly Kettle. I actually did a comparison against a couple other stoves. It wasn't a full-blown review of the Kelly Kettle. I just wanted to do a side-by-side comparison. And I figured it's about time I give a little bit of love to the Kelly Kettle. It did upset a few people. They weren't very happy with my technique on how I got the fire going, and because they are different stoves, they have different purposes. So just because I've might point out some shortfallings of any piece of equipment doesn't mean it's bad. It just means you need to know what it is and isn't. Okay, that's the same thing as I tell my children. I'm like, before you figure out what you are, you got to figure out what you're not. So we can't be all things to everything. There's a saying, was it jack of all trades, master of none? Or if you're a master of something, doesn't mean you might not be a master of all things. Here, let's go ahead and add some water. That is something you have to do. I wouldn't necessarily be carrying around water in this container, so I suppose some people might. Not the way I go about business. Let's see here. I'm not doing an exact measure today because we're not doing a comparison, but I don't want to overfill this thing. That should be more than enough for our ramen. Okay. You can get like a quart top, or I've got this tea kettle top. I like this because once it starts boiling, it gives you a nice whistle. That's very cool. Okay, as far as more on the review aspect when it comes to the Kelly Kettle, you got your base is where you're going to put your fuel. This little, I don't know, simmer pot, you can either do it upside down to go on top of the kettle, or you can flip it upside down like this to cook right next to it, like kind of like a hobo stove. Speaking of hobo stoves, you can also get this attachment, put it on here. Big thing is you've only got these two holes for your oxygen coming in there. Remember, for fire, we need heat, fuel, and oxygen. So you have to be very mindful of the wind and how much fuel you put in here. Today, we're just going to go ahead and do a normal startup. I want to try to do as close as the way the directions are. I've got our fuel starter here from Shane's Workshop on Etsy. It's the Palmetto Woodsman. Basically, he's got some waxed up this, oh god, I forgot the name of the rope. It'll come to me halfway through this darn video. So basically, it's like, here's our fuel starter. It's a again, it's coated in wax, and so it'll burn a long time. Let's prep it by kind of loosening it up a little bit. Isn't it funny how once you get on camera, you forget all your English? That happens to me all the time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put that in here on the bottom. And because some people do like to talk about hey, if you're out in the woods, all you need is a little bit of fuel. If you can find it, you might be able to get yourself some birch bark. This is some river birch bark that I got from the neighborhood. So I'm going to go ahead and use that as our extender. Put that there in our base. All right, so the next thing we got to do is we got to put our Kelly Kettle on top of our stand, and we got to light it up. There is just a little bit of a breeze here, so that should work in our favor. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and light her on up. Okay, that's lit. All right, to maximize this, you want as little fuel as possible. What's going to happen is it's going to create a vacuum. It's going to be a vortex. I need just enough fuel in here to keep that flame going, and you'll see it coming out the top. It is going to get hot, so I don't want to put my fingers over it. It's getting nice and hot right now because I've got that fuel at the bottom as far as the fuel starters with the birch bark and the paraffin waxed jute twine. That's what it is. And so let's just put a little bit on there. I don't want to overfeed this thing. Boy, the comments I get. It doesn't take much, honestly, to overfeed this thing. So you got to get the right balance. Of course, I don't want to be so stingy with my fuel it doesn't go up here. This is nice dry twigs. Let's see here. Yeah, it's looking pretty good down there at the bottom. Now, so far, I've yet to get this thing to boil really fast, even when it was demoed. The gentleman, he had all three sizes. He had three different sizes, and the big ones, boy, he was able to get the big ones to go really fast. And we tried twice with this little trekker, and it just wasn't working that day. And then when I've done it out here, obviously, I've been working on the right amount of fuel to try to get this thing to go fast. Honestly, though, I'm more of a guy that likes to have enough fuel in the base because I like to finish things up. But we're not doing that. We're going to go with Kelly Kettle approach on this one, okay? There are more things that you can do to it, obviously attachments. So, what's the best backpacking food? Why, that's ramen. Let's add my flavor pouch to it. All right. All right, I like some protein, so I got some dehydrated shrimp and crab meat. I just went to Walmart, threw this stuff in the dehydrator, and did it myself. So I didn't buy this from the store. There we go. Let's put the meat on the bottom because we want that to soak up the most. That's going to take a bit of time. Some is good, more is better, right? Well, I like a little bit more red pepper in mine. This is, in Korea we call it goju garu. Goju garu. Goju is the pepper, garu is ground. So let's go ahead and add a bit more pepper to that. She's making some noise in there. Probably not going to have to add any more fuel to it. All right, we're going to add some cream cheese, not cream cheese, American cheese to this because we like the creamy aspect of this soup. Most people seem to talk about this Kelly Kettle as like car camping because it takes up so much space. I'm still not a fan of thinking of it as a survival instrument. I mean, if you know what you're doing with some flint and steel, or get yourself some birch bark, yeah, I guess you can do it. But I don't get a lot of river birch around here, and so I am very proficient at bow drill fire. So you have to have just the right size of bird's nest in there to get it going. At that point, once you get your fire established, I'm almost to the mindset I just throw a stainless steel water bottle in the fire, but it could work in a pinch if that's all you got. Come on, baby. Come on, just a little bit more. It's hot, just not quite there yet. This is not exactly Canteen Cup Tuesday, but I might upload this on Tuesday just to kind of go with that theme. Come on, baby, do it. Oh, she's about right there. Come on. You ever feel like the Jeopardy music? Do 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 do. See that flame popping out there at the top? It's burning good. And I don't know if you noticed, it's just really taking just a little bit of fuel to get this thing up to get nice and hot. So it's super efficient. Come on, you're almost there. You wanted to do it. Come on. There it is. There it is. All right, to get this bad boy off, grab your handles here. Please remember not to keep it on this side. So you don't want to flip it over and burn your hand. You go ahead and take it off the coals like that. And from here, we can go ahead and pull our lid off. Let's expose my ramen here. Now to pour, take your handle, take your chain, and then we just pour it like so. There it is. Nice and hot. All right, let's get... I guess a little dirt never hurt nobody. I was a little messy there, but oh well. A little bit of cheese. 1 and 2. And throw our lid on. And let's see here. I'll just have to be careful. So let's pause it and I'll show you when it's all rehydrated. All right, a bit of time has passed. So the ramen's come back. The shrimp and the crab meat have come back. So I want to give you guys before and after. So this is about the size of the shrimp that I had in there. And this is what the imitation crab meat looked like when I put it in there, okay? Now let's take a look at it. Look how much that crab meat's come back. Nice and soft. And then our shrimp. And this is what our shrimp looks like when it comes back. So those have all softened up as good, well, about as good as they're going to get. I could let it sit for a little bit longer, but I didn't do anything else. Just applied hot water and let it sit. And you can see it came back beautifully. Yummo. All right, so there you have it. All right, all you Kelly Kettle folks. I hope I did right by the stove today. If you haven't tried it, it is a very efficient system. For just a few twigs, you can boil up some water very quickly. This is especially helpful in the morning when you're making your coffee, if you got your Mountain House meals, if you got your instant oatmeal or grits or anything like that. This is really good companion. So there you go. I'm going to eat my lunch now, and thanks for tuning in.